The late-night television saga that left the nation buzzing with outrage and debate has finally wrapped up. Or has it? Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air, ready to reclaim his spot in the spotlight after a brief hiatus that felt like an eternity for fans of sharp wit and political jabs. But here's where it gets controversial. His return isn't just about comedy. It's a showdown between free speech, corporate pressures, and the ever-volatile world of politics. Let's dive into the details and unpack what happened, step by step, so even newcomers to this drama can follow along easily. Our prolonged national late-night ordeal seems to have concluded, and Jimmy Kimmel Live is once again beaming into homes. Well, most of them at least. Can we all just hit the reset button and return to some semblance of normalcy? On Wednesday, exactly 1 week after his program was unexpectedly pulled from the schedule, Kimmel made his triumphant comeback, more or less sticking to his usual routine. During his second episode back, the host received a thunderous applause and even a chant of "Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy," reminiscent of those wild Jerry Springer Show moments. He kicked things off with some lighthearted quips about the preemptions that had disrupted his show, plus a poke at ABC's other hit, The Golden Bachelor. Then, as if nothing had changed, he dove right back into his signature style, poking fun at President Trump. And this is the part most people miss. Kimmel has a real knack for this, especially when Trump is firing off posts on social media, which he's been doing non-stop since the suspension and reinstatement drama unfolded. Trump took to his Truth Social platform with a scathing message. "I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. The White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone, and his talent was never there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who's not funny, and who puts the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? He is yet another arm of the DNC, and to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal campaign contribution. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative." Trump wrapped it up by calling them a true bunch of losers and wishing, "Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings." Kimmel fired back with a clever retort. Only Donald Trump would try to prove that he's not threatening ABC by threatening ABC. But here's the twist that might surprise you. Despite Trump's predictions, Kimmel's Tuesday comeback episode didn't flop at all. In fact, even though about a quarter of the country couldn't tune in due to local station preemptions, think protests and boycotts from affiliates and their owners, Jimmy Kimmel Live shattered records with its biggest audience ever for a regular show in its 22-year run. Kimmel acknowledged Trump's own struggles with ratings, pairing it with a picture on-screen graphic highlighting the president's low approval. This latest flap involved someone halting a functioning escalator in the UN building just as First Lady Melania Trump and the president stepped on. Luckily, no real harm came from it. Maybe just a minor stumble or an embarrassing misstep. Perhaps our long national nightmare is only just beginning. To understand the full backstory, let's rewind. Kimmel was sidelined a week earlier after a monologue joke that referenced MAGA Republicans rushing to separate themselves from the beliefs of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter, Tyler Robinson. Many on the right saw this as a mischaracterization of Robinson's views and an implication, direct or indirect, that extreme right ideologies were to blame for Kirk's murder. This sparked backlash from sponsors and station owners, fueled by Trump's vocal disapproval and that of FCC Chairman Brendan Carr. As a result, Disney ABC temporarily shut down the late-night program under the mounting heat. Yet, support for Kimmel and for the principle of free speech rallied quickly, bringing the show back sooner than expected. It's a classic example of how comedy can intersect with politics, stirring up debates about where the line should be drawn between humor and responsibility. For beginners, think of it like this. Late-night shows often use satire to critique leaders. But when it touches on sensitive topics like violence or extremism, it can escalate into real-world consequences, like boycotts or suspensions. Now, this is where opinions really diverge. Was Kimmel's joke crossing a line, or was the reaction an overreach by those in power? Some argue it was harmless satire, while others see it as unfairly blaming an entire political group. And what about Trump's threats? Were they just bluster or a genuine attempt to influence media? Do you think networks should self-censor to avoid controversy? Or is free speech paramount, even in comedy? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you side with Kimmel's defenders, or do you think the suspension was justified? Let's keep the conversation going.